Pakistan, then you are right. But before that, Pakistan was the part of UK or United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland as we know today. But at that time, it was called the British Empire. But we didn't learn about empires. So this is a topic for today. So what is an empire? Well, it's a country that is so big that it has to be called an empire. That is it. There are many types of empires. Most are Europeans, but that's the topic of today only. And there are also transcontinental empires. But what is empire? That is firstly we need to talk about. As I told you earlier, that's a country large enough to form an empire. But its ideology, like communism, capitalism, are imperialism. The same thing, like empire. Okay, firstly, we are going to recent to the past. First, we have the Japanese Empire. It stretched from Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Malaysia, Indochina, and most of China in the east, and also some islands of Russia. It also bombed Pearl Harbor, which is at Hawaii. And that angered USA. That's why they are not you couldn't see them in the map today. Next we have the British Empire. The British Empire is a lot big. I couldn't mention even in all of them in this video, but I could say some of them, like Canada and eastern part of USA and Australia. The British Empire also defeated France several times, but after the World Wars they became friends. Next, we have the German colonial empire, also known as German Empire. That was when World War I came out, and a few years earlier, in the 1800s, the Persians united the Germans. That's how the origin begins of the German Empire. Next, we also have the Belgian Empire. It only consists Timbuktu or Belgian Congo, and here is Belgium, and that's it. Also, Dutch Empire colonized these parts, and Dutch Empire has a lot of colonies. I wouldn't mention them. French Empire too, and French Empire has the Algeria as its second largest colony after Indochina. Second largest, not second largest, it is the first largest, but the most lasting after Indochina. Now we also get the Spanish Empire. If you know that when I said they discovered America, that means they got a lot of it. And also there's the Danish Empire, which is also a lot old. it has Scandinavian countries and Greenland. Next we have the Italian Kingdom of Italy. That's not an empire, but it's still colonized. So it's like an empire. So this is the Kingdom of Italy. Here we get Albania, Libya, and here is Somalia and Ethiopia. Next we have the Portuguese Empire. It has the oldest navy on earth. We also get here in the Southeast Asia the most countries here, and it's always a mess because most country take more resources from here, so their economy will be good. And there is some other empires such as the Ottoman Empire. This is a transcontinental empire, but it colonized because of Islam. It's also like a caliphate. Next we get the Russian Empire. Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan was invaded. I still lived it. Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan, with Azerbaijan, Armenian, Georgia, Ukraine, Moldova, Poland, Belarus, Finland, and the Baltic countries made it up this empire. Siam also, but Siam is not also recognized as an empire. Subscribe to our channel and goodbye. So hey guys, this is the empires of the world part 2. But this is a reversed version of it. When I mean it, I mean the smallest possible of an country. It's smaller than the reset form. And the empires is bigger than the recent form. That's the difference about it. These are much more early because Europeans didn't start colonizing. Here are also some colonies. So first we have Castle. It is a smaller version of Spain. During the religious wars, Castle got much more land because the caliphates were last at Granada and they also moved. Granada is now a Christian state. I couldn't say about more of this history, but I could say that Christopher Columbus where was sailing on the Atlantic Ocean to discover America. That caused them to get a lot of parts of America. Also the Philippines. But now I will talk about the Portuguese. Portugal also has an important history. Portugal was mostly at the south at the time. Hence, the capital Lisbon is at the south. So, but when another sailor came in who discovered India, and also the royal family and others colonized the Brazilian part, or Uruguay, Paraguay, and Brazil. And there was one time a Brazilian empire. But the Portuguese soon started to lose the colonies, and Brazil is an important thing for the royal family, because Napoleon, when invaded the Portugal, they got it to Rio de Janeiro. There's also England. The unification happened because they told that we can be so powerful, but the Scottish refused. But a few years of tensions, but still the unification happened of the UK. And Scotland plays an important role in the British Empire. Francia also, but Francia is a lot smaller than you think. And its first form's capital was Soissons. It was somewhere at the south, and it became independent at one time too, but it was native then. Then we have the Papua New Guinea. It was divided between the Germans and the English, but in World War I they unified the island because they won. But in World War II, Japan carried most of the island except for a little bit here. Also, at the topic of Japan also had, but it was really old history, so we couldn't find more information about it. But Saudi Arabia, though, is not the caliphate that you think. The South took up control over the region, and Hijaz is on the west that was unified again by the South. Libya, or Italian Libya, a part of Italy, had a smaller form when the Egyptians that were British protectorate invaded most of the territory. Carthage also, but I couldn't find information again. It's a long time ago, on BCEs. Inca Empire also wasn't seen until Christopher Columbus landed on Inca Empire. The Ming Dynasty is a lot old. It's not imperialism, or it's a dynasty. It's the last dynasty of China. There's also the Roman Republic. When I say republic, it's not a republic. It's a parliament. That means the king won't directly do anything. They will revote that who will be the king. Here's also other countries, but the most interesting is Russia. And yes, Russia is that much more. One time it didn't even have Moscow because Moscow was an independent state. It was called the Duchy of Moscow. Soon it expanded much more east and then became the Russian Empire. But do you know that which is the most one of the emperors in the Russian Empire? Alexander II is one. There's also Mexico's small part. It's a small part of Mexico that has been colonized by the French. Here's also the Canadian British version. That means it was colonized by the British. And Hudson Bay is completely covered with most of British because they weren't able to make a break, is because the mountains of here beyond that is the French colonies. But now we have the Brazilian colony. It played an important role on the Napoleonic Wars because when Iberia, Portugal was invaded, the royal family go to Rio de Janeiro. It's a tongue twister. We get the 13 colonies. Yes, before almost when the United States got independence, after that they only got 13 states. There are Vermont, Maine, Virginia, West Virginia, New York, Massachusetts, Maryland, and then the Federal District, North Carolina, South Carolina. There are some more that I couldn't find. I will make some videos about it. But there's another one. Back to the video. Now, this is the West South African territory that was colonized by the Dutch but soon passed away to the British. And that's it for all for today.